Hold up, hold up, hold up. It's that boy G Planz. Don't give a damn. He cooler than a fan. Walking real tall. Some say he's a man.
Shit, I do.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
You ask me that off the break, like, hell yeah, right, nigga, because I want to make sure my shit is right.
Right about that.
I want my shit to be natural, like.
So, man, look, we in Baltimore, Maryland right now.
Yeah.
Remy Ruger.
Remy Ruger.
Yeah.
MBK no feelings truck.
What's going on, man?
Yeah, yeah.
Look, I appreciate you having me.
For sure.
Shout out to Tate for making this happen.
And shout out my brother, Tate Wilson, man.
Tate Wilson, man. He down in Atlanta.
Just moved to Atlanta, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he about to blow that city right out the water, man. You know it.
So I wanna say, man, like what's going on, man? Like where we at right? Well, not the specific location.
Right.
But where are we at right now? You told me when I got the car, like right there, the next block is like one of the most dangerous places in Baltimore.
Definitely.
Talk to us.
Well, right now, we literally in the heart of Park Heights, man. Zone 15.
1-5.
You know what I'm saying? Zone 15, one of the most craziest spots up in Baltimore. But shout out, you know, every hood. But yo, right now, yo, West Baltimore, like one of the craziest parts of the shit. Like, yeah, we there though. We there.
We in the jungle, bro.
We in the jungle, nigga. Like when it comes to the crime that's going on, a lot of the shit is just really like this fusing over this way. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, it's a lot of love. It's a confusing love hate thing going on this side. But right now, yeah. And you with a 1-5 native. We good.
Straight up, man. So I wanna get right into it, man. Like what part of Baltimore are you from? And what make your neighborhood so different about any other part or any other area in Baltimore?
Well, I got a good story about it because it's not just Park Heights. Park Heights originally is Wiley. Wiley, everybody know where that's at. Oakford, Palmer Road, Miss Kim, shout out Miss Kim, her kids there now. Just in case you niggas is lurking and trying to figure out where I'm really from, you feel me? But other than that, I left Park Heights a little young. I was doing some bullshit over there, you know. But originally Park Heights, but other than that, the village is what made me. The village, you know, home of Scola. Shout out Scola, free him. That's my bro, you feel me? But yeah, up there, you know, that's what me and Tate Wilson met. Me and the So Swag family, the original Trap Boys. A lot of things going on up there. That's where shit got real for me. That's where Ruger came from. For sure. Like yeah, my mom, my godmother, I met her up there, and my brother, and she gave me Remy, and then the streets gave me Ruger.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So like, was it? I mean, the area you grew up in, was it rough for you? Was you fighting all the time?
Fuck yeah. It wasn't none of that. Like me and my dumb ass decided to jump out of school that was over somewhere called Cherry Hill. I went to a school out there. Was rough, bro. Like where you from, bro? Like straight up. As soon as you walk out, where you from? In that school, you in that zone, nigga. Like it's not the same. And you can't just walk around and say, oh, yeah, I'm from here, You can't unless you really rapping it. And I was like, shit, I'm from the Heights, you feel me? But out there, as far as my neighborhoods and growing up, it was nothing good about them, bro. Influence, terrible. Family was like, I'm where, like Baltimore City, where you from, you got a lot of family, but your realest families is the people you make them. And that depends on the type of nigga you is, type of heart you got that'll make your family. But as far as the neighborhoods growing up, it was none. Economically, yeah, the teachers ain't teaching you, yeah, none of that. The teachers telling your bitch ass to sit down just like that. Sit your bitch ass down, straight up.
Wow.
That's what it's like where we from. That's it. I'm not lying, they telling you that.
I want to say this, man. All right, I'm from the outside looking in, man.
Right.
You know, I mostly cover a lot of southern region people, but I'm expanding whatever.
Right.
When it comes to Baltimore, for me, this is my opinion.
Right.
Like, it's not known for like the musical talent.
Right.
I hear The Wire.
Right.
I hear Gervonta Davis.
I heard that shit. Like everybody think of The Wire, yo, when it come to the city.
I hear Gervonta Davis.
Right.
I hear the Boxers. I hear Jess Hilarious.
Yeah.
I hear her.
Shout out Jess too, man.
The Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
I hear about them.
Man, not to take nothing away from any other city or nobody that got talent, but it's probably more talented people coming out of Baltimore than anywhere. Anywhere on the East Coast, I think right now.
Yeah.
We just don't get the opportunities.
And these days, even the county.
Yeah.
And by the way, we don't consider the county, like, we don't consider Maryland, Baltimore. Do not do that. That's like offensive to a Baltimore nigga.
Is Baltimore.
And Maryland is Maryland. PG is PG. We do not claim. I don't know what it is. It's just been like that all the time. You can't say, "Oh, you from Baltimore, Maryland?" A nigga will say, "Nah, Baltimore."
I've never heard that before.
That's true. We do not affiliate. I don't know what it is. Like, I guess we got this mindset in the city. Like, them niggas out there, like, ain't us here. But if you know niggas from out there.
I think it become a sort of a clash between, you know, because it's the DMV area, you know, you got DC, you know what I'm saying, Virginia, you know, Maryland. So, and you got people that live, you know, Pasadena or Upper Marlboro, which is in between, you know, pretty much in between those states. And so we just don't like to get confused with those guys, you know, because naturally, you know what I mean?
Naturally and
take it how they
privilege.
want to, you know, like.
Privilege-wise is different. Not saying them niggas ain't that. We just feel like they decide that.
Yeah.
City, you ain't got no fucking choice. That's the difference from the cut up.
Wow.
It's more pretending.
To us anyway, not saying they're not real, but you feel me?
But since saying that, from the outside looking in, I see that, I'm like, damn, Baltimore breed fighters.
Yeah.
Baltimore has, like when it comes to the wire, people saying it's real, like it's real ghetto, you got all the violence and everything. Right. Like, is that real? Well, besides the musical aspect of it, because I want you to take us in
there
before we really get into the musical topic.
Okay.
But when it comes to me saying the wire, me saying that Baltimore got some fighters, is that true? Because I'm from the outside looking in.
Well, I do want to make this clear, and I appreciate platforms like yours. The Wire, we enjoyed it when, like, if from somebody from the outside looking in, we enjoyed it when the kids was on it. I believe the kids' story more than the Hustler story on it. It was really not the same, but The Wire is 10 times, like, weaker than the actual reality of the show.
And not to say that it didn't actually happen, because a lot of that stuff actually happened, but it's more fabricated than truth.
Not only that, a lot of people that was just to bring you deep into the city, this is how blind we are to it. The most I can respect about them, a lot of them people who did The Wire, yo, like, yeah, they wasn't actors. Real shit. A lot of them things walk around and shit was real. My uncle was in that shit.
Even the kids.
Even the kids. My uncle was in that bitch copping, my nigga. Like, yeah. Season 1, I never forget it. I don't remember the episode, but like, if I had to get deep in the city, it's real overbearing. Crabs in the barrel. That's what they call us.
Baltimore is everything you think it is, but so much more.
Like times 10. Anything you can hear bad about the city. Now, don't think we down in the city, because our happiness is this. We do breed fighters. We do got some kids that's fortunate enough that can afford the gym or afford football practice. But we got the mamas here that's like, what do you tell this kid when your mama fiend out, bro? You feel what I'm saying? Or you 16 years old and your best friend mama come to you and you gotta make a decision because you need that money. That's our life, you feel me? And then you gotta get the heart to tell me, bro, your mother just came and he just be like, man, fuck that shit. Like, you gotta eat. That's the type of life we live. It's so cutthroat, but it's our reality.
Wow.
And we got some good ass food.
Oh, I was told.
I mean,
chicken boxes.
Yeah. Definitely when you need, like, I heard you can't go to Atlanta and ask for 4 chicken box. They don't know what the fuck you talking about. That shocked me. Like, nigga, we can go to the street right now. Hey, my man need a chicken box. What you want? What you want? Chicken, what?
Fried wing fried.
Fried wing fried. Nigga, salt, pepper, cut your hot sauce on the chicken.
I want to lighten the mood a little. When I'm going to lighten the mood, then I'm going to go back to the real shit.
Yeah, do your thing.
I was told, like, when I was told, I saw something on social media about, like we was talking about outside, that Baltimore has one of the craziest accents ever. Like, everybody said, they sound fun, they talk crazy. Like,
right. I think we actually got like it depends.
It's some uniqueness to it though.
Yeah, it depends.
We got our own language, definitely.
We do, it's retarded a little bit. Like me, you can't judge by me. Like, cause I got Southern in me. Yeah. I be like, talk, instead of talk.
Yeah.
Like Baltimore say talk, but I be like, talk.
I got a lot more than Baltimore in me. Cause a lot of the stuff that we say, you know, will be offensive in other places, like, you know, Atlanta, Louisiana, you know. I see him, that's bro, he's my best friend, you feel me? But he like my brother. But when I see him, I'm like, yo, dummy, what's up?
What's up,
you know
dummy?
what I'm saying? Most people will take offense to that, you know what I'm saying? But that's love, you know, between us, and that's a Baltimore thing.
That's
Most
real.
people won't understand it, but that's just our lingo.
You see, you know, every region has its own vernacular.
Yeah.
You know, like when we in Louisiana, this may sound crazy to y'all. We might say, "What's happening, bitch?"
Oh, okay.
What's that? And that's a term. That's a greeting term from us.
Right.
But
I was more aggressive.
yeah, you know,
We say that too. We be like, "What's up, bitch?"
Yeah.
Like it'd be like straightforward. See, like that is like showing love. Like how you said it. Like I can take that if I'm out of town. Somebody comes like, "What's happening, bitch?"
Yeah,
You
that's
feel?
how they, yeah.
But we be like, "What's up, bitch?"
Yeah.
Or we play like we fit in a fight.
Yeah.
But the whole time we about to like give each other a five. Type
But as crazy as it is in Baltimore,
yeah.
it could be serious, just like he said,
Yeah.
but you know the
You know.
difference between when it's serious and when it's real, you know what I'm saying?
Flat out.
You know the real love and you know when it's hate.
All right, I want to take a hit, and I'm not gonna read the whole tweet. I'm gonna paraphrase it somewhat. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna say about a month or two ago, and I'm not gonna really touch too deep on the politician side, but
Yeah.
Donald Trump told you guys councilmen, basically talking about the city of Baltimore was filthy and rat infested and stuff like that. I don't know if you've seen it or
I
heard
seen it. Yeah.
You know, you being a Baltimore native, did whatever the president tweeted, did that make you feel some type of way after he said that? Or tweeted that?
I'm gonna go first.
Yeah, you go ahead first.
I mean, honestly, I'm not big into the politics, but I mean, it really didn't offend me because if you go to New York, and I mean anywhere in the world, you go to Italy, I mean, come on, what place is not rat infested? It's the world. It's animals, you know, we got bugs, we got roaches, we got flies. It's everywhere, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he feel like it's a little bit more worse off in Baltimore, but I wasn't really offended.
I was offended.
It's home to me. I love
was offended for one reason, bro. I was offended because I feel like if you ain't from here, you can't say that. If Donald Trump came here 3 days ago, he came here 3 days ago. Everybody knew. Snipers on the roof, boats in the water with the guys on the guns. I was offended because he's not from here. And I feel like when you visited, you bullshitted. You want to get off the highway downtown, bro. You want to get off the highway's downtown. You went straight from a highway to a 5-class hotel to talk. You ain't go hard. You ain't pulling Obama when he came here. When Obama came here, he was on Park Heights. He was riding through. No, he didn't get out, but he rolled through. You know what I'm saying? We got councilmen that's here that live here. You know what I'm saying? With cops outside that door. We know where they live. So how much respect do they get from the city? A lot more than Trump because they live here. Do you know what it's like to know where a politician lives? That is like scary for a politician. That is a dangerous job. You say the wrong fucking thing, Lil JJ and them, we know where you live. If we really want to take a caution, you only got this outside. You're not threatening, I'm just saying. It just shows the respect boundary. Like you said, I'm not gonna get too deep, but yeah, I was offended only because he's not from here. And I feel like he didn't have a frame of mind to state that. If he wanted to say something about Baltimore, I felt like he should have just mentioned a riot that made the city worse.
Wow.
Because after the riot, that turned us upside down, which most people, I went on the West Coast, and when people met me, they was asking me, was it real? Was it on the fucking news? Did you see the fucking videos? Yeah, it's fucking real. And it's 10 times realer than what the fuck they showed. Because it didn't just happen in the place they seen, it was the whole city, nigga. Black businesses ruined, pharmacies, everything was blowing up.
Yeah,
they didn't show half of it. If they would have labeled that, that would have been bigger than Detroit's back in the day.
They came to our store. They tried to bust our windows out and everything, but we had all our employees posted at the windows.
All that shit.